Hello, folks. Just want to connect and pass on some information that I was just reading about today. I thought that was pretty interesting. So, if you take a look at some of the feeds, maybe you guys also noticed this. Desktop Metal planning on going public at an evaluation of 2.5 billion. That's an impressive number. That's some big potato chips there. And that's going to create, according to the article, about $575 million of funding for them to use in development. So they'll be listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So really pretty interesting news. I'm going to tell you kind of what I really think is cool and neat about this and what has me just a smidgen concerned in general about this type of thing, not specific in this case to Desktop Metal. Number one, I think it's phenomenal when our industry is getting this kind of, news, information, kind of mainstreaming. I mean, manufacturing to be part of the investment excitement in the community, things that are being picked up as the next neat new thing you need to be involved in, phenomenal. I think that part is absolutely great. Additive especially, right? It's cool, it's neat. A lot of young people get involved. The entire maker movement some years ago, people getting into our industry that weren't in it before, that's fantastic. With that kind of funding, imagine what you can do in product development, the things that you could do creating new products, doing research, testing materials, making machines simpler to use, getting a broader base, expanding into more areas. And it's all getting more manufacturing technology into a lot more places for a lot more people. That part's phenomenal. Love that. Here's the small thing I kind of don't like it's not that I don't like, I'm concerned about it. I lived through the 70s and 80s when there was a lot of mergers and acquisitions, nowhere near these kinds of evaluations, but still it was going on. And what ended up happening was a lot of focus got moved to quarterly numbers. And a lot of the investments that were going into product development and innovation and R&D where the budgets started getting pulled and cut so that people could get on to making next quarter's numbers, because once you start getting into, publicly held companies, you do really have an obligation of being returned to the shareholders. It's a little bit more obvious and present than even when you're non-public. And so what ended up happening back in the day was we didn't do the investments, we didn't stay focused on innovation, we didn't churn out the next cool product, and that was a bit of a problem because a little bit of a lack of focus and direction. So let's hope we've definitely learned from our lessons and that these cool companies like Desktop and others that are in our space now that are going public and getting this funding are to leverage all those cool things and have learned from what happened in the past to make sure we don't do that, because if we can keep this kind of dynamic growth, this kind of funding in R&D, our ability to accelerate technologies and be able to have an impact from a U.S. manufacturing standpoint is phenomenal. So let's keep our eye on it. Good luck, Desktop Metal, and all the other guys and gals that are going public with their companies. Let's put those funds to good use. So, anytime you want to get more information about anything you see or hear on this, just give us a call. Take a look online, see what you see on AMT News, IMTS.com. Lots of information coming out on all these different things that we're covering, from supply chains to technologies. So hopefully we can give you some information that helps. Have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.